Okay, we are going to examine the Dragon Blood 2 as far as potency. 70 grams of material in a 2-ounce bottle with standard powder. And it's important that we say with the standard powder because the powder itself has weight. So it's denser when you have 5 grams in there. This is 2 grams of borosilicate powder in 2 ounces of softener liquid. And we're going to pour this with no flake or anything. We're just going to look for density. I don't have a measurement system that I'm going to say, oh, we're going to put 2 ounces of this, 2 ounces of that. We're going to go for look. So I've got my color here, and we're going to put in, okay, that much. So we've got about 2.5 grams in that container. So we'll call it 2.5 at the moment. We'll do the math on the screen to be precise. I'm doing it in my head and talking at the same time. So we'll put this down at 2.5 grams and pour these pucks out. And then we'll redo this with another 1 cup of hot plastic in just a second. And we'll put a few more grams in and look at the difference in translucent and stuff and do the math completely. Okay, our second cup of plastisol is right here, and it is hot. And we're going to do this same process again. We're going to add our colorant. And this time, last time we were approximately 2.5 grams. We're going to take that further and things this time. I'm going to take it to 5 grams, so in theory it would be twice as strong. We're then going to look at the differences between the 2 pucks. We're going to cast them into some baits, and then we're going to black flake them as well. So we're starting off right here. I've got 56.75. I'll put some stuff in here. I need to take it down to 51.75. So I know I've got 5 grams. I'm almost there. Okay, 51.75. Actually, we're 51.7, so we're just 500ths over. And here is our saturation of our color now, at that being double strength. Now, remember, we're dealing with a highlight, and a highlight isn't necessarily our colorant, but we're going to use it for these examples as our colorant. You can see it there, we're well mixed. Okay, let's take a look at those 2 pucks. We'll pull them out here and see them. We have the one at 2.5 grams, and we have the one at 5 grams. So you can see all of the flake and color in there. There you go, that's 5 grams. And here's 2.5 grams. Try and stay out of that reflection. And so one's double strength, one's single strength, we'll call it. And here's the math you can see on your screen with regard to how those work out of that 2-ounce bottle. Now, this certainly may have enough color and things in it for you for what you're doing, enough highlights. Maybe you want it stronger or more highlights. Maybe you want to use it as color. All things are the same, and they're all linear in their nature. Obviously, the more you use, the more expensive you'll make your bait versus the less you use. But it all comes out that way when you look at it. Okay, here is our one with the 5 grams. We've done our bait pour. We have our puck right here that we've looked at, 5 grams. We now have approximately 1/2 cup, just a tiny bit more than a 1/2 cup, close to, well, it's closer to 3/4 than a half, but just over a 1/2 cup. We're going to add 1 spoonful of black flake. We'll put the same in both of them, and then we will reshoot this into the bait mold. so we can see the exact same. And you can see now, even with that little bit of black flake, you can see that color pop off there quite a bit. Okay, our cup of 0.25 is right here. And again, we have approximately 3/4 of a cup of plastic here. After we've poured our pucks and things, we will take 1 spoonful of our black flake. This is random cut holographic flake. Absolutely one of my favorite choices for using in baits. I love the random cuts. It gives you a whole different dimension and a whole different look. Got that mixed in. You can see already how it kind of changes the look. This is one of the other reasons I like using liquid colorants if I have a choice over powders, because they don't stick to the sides of my cup. They mix in completely. So there is our color. We've got some light reflection there. Let's see if we can avoid that. But there is our color. We'll get that pumped in to this. And let's start with our 2 pucks. And we looked at the ones that were just solid prior. Let's look at the ones that are with black flake in it. On the left, 5 grams. On the right, 2.5 grams. So you can see the intensity difference between the two. Right side, this one, 2.5 grams. Left side, this one, 5 grams. Both of them have a lot of color. They both produce a quality look. So let's look at the actual baits. We're going to look at no flake first. So this is a good looking bait. Nothing but plastic and color. You almost look down the center of those little crappie fish there, or crappie baits. Almost like you get a line through the center right there. Okay, 2.5 grams. There's your color shifts, all your piece go with it. 5 grams. Certainly more color, especially in this clear. So you get it's almost like you get a core shot down the center of that little bait, because where it's thicker, obviously your color lines up and stands up more. Same down the connecting one there. It's almost like a core shot and stuff down the middle of it. Okay, so 2.5 grams here, 5 grams here. Okay, let's look at the ones now that have the black flake in it. And we've got on the right hand side, we've got our 2.5 grams. And to me, that's a good looking bait. I like the amount of saturation in it. I don't think it's got too little. We get a good amount of color. It's bouncing off that black really nice. Good looking bait. Here is another great looking bait. This has got our 5 grams in it. So 5 grams, or double the color. 2.5, 5. You can see, again, looks like you got a core shot in there if you were to look at it. Nothing here but our highlight powder and flake. So I guess the question you'd have to ask yourself, if this is good enough, do you put double the amount in, which gets you half as many baits here as this one gets you, or if this is good enough? You can compare the math for yourself, but those are the choices and things between the two. 5 grams, 2.5 grams.